I'm live just as I'm. Hey guys, hold on a second.
He's putting the keyboard up
We're live.
with his left hand, which isn't as adept as his right hand used to be.
Hello. Give me a second. I'm working on it. Hold on, guys. Oh shit! How? Oh. Ah.
Okay. Oh yeah, please.
Okay, I'm back. Everybody or anybody, how you doing? I'm Manny Vitelli, host of My Fight Our War, co-host of Music and Mayhem with my brother Skylar Ray, and of course, we get to add on to that list as we are now doing Bullshitting with the Boys with my brother Matt Cronin, AJ Galante, and whoever else the special guest might be popping on with that one.
Right.
And we cannot forget our new show that we're going to be doing on Tuesdays now. Yep, the old Detroit Outlaws are riding again. We are going to be going on. I cannot wait. It's going to be myself, Screaming Scott Randall, Loco Joe, also known as Pancho and Cisco. We're riding back in the saddle, guys. I cannot wait. I mean, obviously, everyone in Detroit, especially Detroit radio, knows
these guys. Yeah.
No Scott Randall and Loco Joe. And of course, you know their incredible band, Chit. And
CHIT, by the way.
Chi. It's
Chi.
CHIT. And I highly recommend seeing these guys. They are incredible. They've been around for a long time. And I tell you what, and of course, Screaming Scott, you can hear him daily on WCSX 94.7 from 3 to 7 o'clock. And now,
public service announcement.
Now, it's my PSA. Now, I am so freaking honored and blessed to be able to throw my hat in the ring and say that I will be privileged and honored and privileged to be part of that posse, man. Like I said, the Outlaws riding again on Tuesdays. We're still working everything out. This is in the new beginnings of stuff. And I tell you what, I've said it over and over. Scott, Joe, I love you, man. Thank you so much. We are going to have a freaking ball. This is going to be so much fun. It's every time, people come up with something new, you always throw out, this is going to be something like you've never seen before. This is going to be something you've never heard before. I can honestly say that because we have no idea. This is going to be, something that we are going to come at you in so many different directions. And yeah, it's just going to be a lot of fun. Needless to say, obviously, with those guys, their backstory. Well, you don't need one with Screaming Scott. We've been on the radio for the last 30 years, practically. Back with the riff, and that, of course, 94.7 WCSX. And those guys are so freaking awesome that when COVID hit, the world went to hell. We know that. But, they took it upon themselves to say, you know what? No, man, we're not going to let this get the best of us. So they came up with Pancho and Cisco and had their own podcast show that they were doing. I believe it was like 3 to 6 or something like that. It's been a while, obviously, but and it just took off. I mean, they put a lot of joy and laughter into our lives during such a dark time. People were chiming in to see Pancho and Cisco, Screaming Scott, Loco Joe. So that just goes to show you the type of people that I like to associate with. And like I said, honored that they're giving me this opportunity. So, okay, update. This is day 1 after surgery, first day post-op. And, not bad. It's, had surgery. Excuse me, I had 3 hours of surgery, man. Of course, it's going to hurt a little bit. And
a little bit.
Oh, wait a minute. Shit, I'm sitting there looking at you, and I'm like, oh, okay. Well, where is my arrow? I'm doing everything left-handed, so I'm going totally the opposite way right now.
It's like yesterday, if you heard him under anesthesia,
anesthesia,
and now today he's trying to work left-handed and he's right-handed. So
yeah, there you go.
Things could be very interesting.
Now you're on.
But he is quite a warrior.
Yeah. Yesterday, we came home. Got home, and I'm sitting on the way. I'm looking at the phone, and I see one of our family members, Danny, and Danny Gibson, who was celebrating 4 years of sobriety. So I was about to just kick back and relax a little bit, but I started reading again, huge thank you for everyone for your kind words and support. Mean the world to me. And going through those, I happened to notice a post from Danny that he was celebrating his 4 years of sobriety. So I was like, screw that, man. We're going on.
Mhm.
You know, we're celebrating old Danny boy. And we did. And we were out for a little bit until I realized the anesthesia was still kicking in.
He couldn't talk.
I couldn't talk. I mean, plus I'm still, my voice anyways is trash. So it's always, but it was even worse yesterday. And plus with the dry mouth, then the anesthesia,
Mhm.
then the tube.
Endotracheal tube.
Oh my God. I was saying stuff that I was just like, what?
Yeah.
What did I say? And then God bless Lori, my Alabama family,
That's right.
Athens, Alabama, looking out for me as I'm just rambling aimlessly and going through. All of a sudden I look up and there's all these posts and there's Lori. What are you doing, Manny? Go to bed. There's I could just see her in Alabama
Yes,
going like
exactly.
this. Bless your heart.
Mhm.
But hey, Tyler, Stacy, Carol, thank you for popping on with us at oh, that's right. I got to go this coming Friday, a week from today, to get my eye surgery or
Mhm.
laser procedure
Mhm.
done. So I'll be able to stop winking at you guys. It looks like it's going on 11 o'clock. Thank you for popping on with us.
10:52.
10:52 ish. It's closer to
Close enough.
11 than 10. So,
It's true.
but yeah, man, just like I said, wanted to give a couple updates, and I've been getting some messages and texts about my shoulder,
Mhm.
and I can't remember what I said last night and what I didn't say as far as what's coming up for me. I was really, really, really hoping that was going to be it yesterday. Take out the old parts, put in a new replacement, and a good to go. But of course, this is me we're talking about. That doesn't happen. Unfortunately, when they went in, they knew that there was a lot of damage. And I kept telling these doctors for a year,
Mhm.
freaking year, I
Mhm.
kept telling them that my shoulder there was something wrong. But this was in the time frame when I tore my left tricep tendon, and this is how this whole thing started. I was at the gym, I was working out, I was bench pressing, and I pushed the weight up, and my left tricep snapped. So all the weight came down on my right arm, which was when it was replaced. I had to put the 285 up and rack it onto one of the posts. And, of course it hurt. I tore my tendon in half, but at the same time, I trashed my shoulder. So over a year, I'm telling these guys, and they're like, well, can you move it? Can you do this? I'm like, well, yeah, I can move it, but it's killing me. But, for them, they were the problem at hand was a 95% torn in half tricep tendon.
Mhm.
So they fixed that. And I kept telling them, listen, something's not right. So finally, about 3 months ago, they do a CAT scan and they come in. And usually I've known these doctors for 5, 6 years, and we've got a very good relationship. They're great guys, awesome doctors. But it was my fault because I think I was a little bit too friend mode at times and not being as serious and telling them the seriousness of my pain. Because when they came in after they got the results, he was just literally just shaking his head, and there was no joking around. There was no kidding. And he just set it down and he's looking, he goes, man, he goes, you need a specialist. He goes, this is very serious. So fast forward to yesterday.
It's above our pay
We
grade.
already know that there's a problem. So they tell me right off the bat, they're so concerned that besides the wear and tear on the bone itself, that there may be an infection in the bone, which is extremely serious. So they do what they call a spacer. So they basically cut me open from here up, took all the parts out, and put the spacer in, which is like a temporary replacement, which not for the process itself, but it's a go-to until the next step. But it's got antibiotics into it that's flushing into the bone. And they took cultures yesterday. But if that wasn't bad enough, when I woke up, they came in and said that they couldn't believe the amount of damage, wear and tear, and degenerative issues in the bone itself, to the point where he said, we have got to come up with a plan here. They need to talk to other specialists to see how they're going to be able to rebuild the bone in my humerus and to the scap. You said it's just shredded. everything's shredded. And I am pretty pissed off because I'm upset with this, the doctors for not pursuing it a little bit more, but I put a lot of that on myself because of not being totally honest as far as my symptoms were going. Even though I did tell them, man, this thing's killing me. When I was in the room talking to them, we're always joking around. And as I'm moving the shoulder, the one, that I'm like, man, so I'm kind of laughing. I'm like, this is freaking hurts. But here I am laughing. We're joking around as I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And as they said to me afterwards, they didn't think I was able to do the stuff I did with it being that bad. So, it is what it is. So the next step is now I have to wait 6 weeks and I have to go back in again. And as long as all's well with the cultures and all that, got to go back in again, take this out, and then we still got to figure out what we're going to do with the bone and the replacement. So unfortunately, it's not over yet, but it'll be fine. It's going to work out. Things will be okay. So that's what's going on with the shoulder. And OG's been helping tremendously.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Yes,
She has not been under the influence of anything. And as of those of you who are like, what the hell are you talking about? We might as well, hey, we got time. Why not throw this out there?
Go ahead.
OG, besides being the admin and runs everything, she's also a nurse. But yes, she's actually a real, I've never seen the like this. I was like, and then she supposedly goes to this place and has these patients. And then it's followed up with, I've got to go see my patient. Well, I got, my last patient died. And I was like, what? Yeah. What? Oh, should you be telling me this stuff? So with my I had 2 back surgeries that were both 7-hour back surgeries. They were terrible, man. And so they go, is anyone going to help you? And I go, well, yeah, told about OJ. I go, plus she's a nurse. And they're like, that's great.
Yeah.
Well,
yes, it is.
Before my surgery, I don't like to take a lot of medication and stuff. So I couldn't sleep at all. I mean, maybe an hour, because every time I'd move or roll, my back pain would just go berserk. So she goes, well, why don't you try? They have the edibles that are not, for the edible. They're strictly for like sleep. Mm-hmm. That's it. Mm-hmm. And I was reluctant. And I don't like that, or like muscle relaxers. I just don't like them. Mm-mm. But the back was killing me. So she was nice enough to get some. I took one and I knew. I go, oh, no. But I had them here. So it was before my surgery. Oh, no, I'm sorry. So I had my surgery. I come home. And I'm laying there. And there's OG. And she's like, we're just chilling, watching TV. And all of a sudden I look over and she just looked stranger than usual. She was just like, and I'm like, and she's like, oh, my leg. Oh, she goes, magnesium. I'm like, the fuck? She goes, I need to take some I'm getting a cramp. Muscle cramp. Oh, so. And then, so I go to back surgery, one day post-op. I'm like, oh, okay, you just sit there. So I go to get, she's like, no, I'm going to throw up. I need a bucket. Hold on. So I go get her. I hand it to her. And then I'm like, what the hell's going on? And then she's just talking very odd. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? And then she's grabbing her calf again. But then she's like, oh, the pain's like right there. And so now I'm also a former EMT. So now my EMT things are starting to kick in. She's not acting right. She's kind of words loopy. Are jumbly. She's not acting. Her cognitive functions aren't right. And she's grabbing her calf. I'm thinking DVT, a clot. And if that breaks loose, you could die. Mm-hmm. So then I'm looking at that. So then I look at her and her face looked stranger than usual. Just kidding. And
no, he's not.
I'm looking at her eyes. And I wasn't paying attention to I was just looking at her eyes, but because when she talked, she was like mumbling. Her words weren't correct. Mm-hmm. So now I'm asking her. So now I'm asking her questions for CVA, a possible stroke. So now it went from laughing my ass up to being serious. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, screw this. I called 911. The fire ambulance gets here.
Hero.
They get here and they're like, what's going on? I go, listen, she was fine. All of a sudden she's grabbing her leg with severe cramping in her calf. So you got first I thought it was DVT. You know, she's a nurse, blah blah blah, going on and on, and then start talking about she's also got nauseous. Then she started talking slurred words, slurred speech. I immediately did it's called the Cincinnati stroke test. We ask certain questions. You have them repeat certain things, and then you have them stick their tongue out to make sure it doesn't go up to the side.
Mm-hmm.
So I do the stroke test on her, and she passed it, but she was still not right. So they're checking everything. They check her vitals, and they're like, well, okay, any medications? No, no, no. History? No. Works out like a horse every day. Do anything different? No. Did she eat anything? Take any? Nope. Well, wait a minute. I go, that's right. I go, you took that for because it was her hip when it was bothering her.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, you did take something. I go, you took one of those gummies, didn't you? And she goes, yeah. And so I walked over, we grabbed the can, and he goes, how much did you take? And she goes, I took one. He goes, a whole one? He goes, it should have been like a quarter or a half. So it went from, being a very serious situation to, no, she's not having excuse me, it's not a clot. She's not having a stroke. My admin, my nurse, who is taking care of me, who just went through 7 hours of back surgery, is high. She was stoned.
I was stoned.
So I'm sitting there talking to these guys. I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, she's stoned. So I'm like, great. She's supposed to be taking care of me, this and that. And I go, oh, great. So now in a couple hours, I got to go to Taco Bell. And they're cracking up. So, yeah. So, I can't remember why we brought that up, but,
with drugs, I'm a lightweight.
When they're talking
and
about,
I will never do that again. Oh, it was awful.
Oh, she's like, oh, people pay for this. Oh my God. I'm laughing my ass off. It was so funny, man. And, so then, again, so here, she is so helpful. Does great. I mean, she has helped through 9 surgeries and 12, 14, 15 months, something like that. Yep. 9 surgeries. Yep. So I thank you. I appreciate that. But there's times where it's just like, what
entertainment?
Oh my God. Yesterday I wanted to get the damn things cut off my wrist. So I walk up to her and I had the scissors, and I'm the one on medication. I'm the one. I'm standing there and I got the scissors, handle facing her. And I'm going like this, and she's going like this.
What do you want?
And she's staring at it. And I'm like, well, here. And I've got my wristband and tape all over my wrist that have the scissors in it. So I'm like this. She gets closer. Yeah. Oh, I removed. Oh no, I did. And she's like, what? I'm like, yeah. It's just like, here. She's like, what? They're scissors. Cut this off. Oh man. So besides
toward me with a pair of scissors, like what do you want me to do?
Yeah, but they were not pointing at her. They were flipped around. And
appropriate.
Oh my God. So it's just little things like that. And it's just that
he keeps laughing.
It's like, who's under the anesthesia here? But
you're blowing those anesthesia gases in my face in the car. Oh my God.
You know what, guys? I'm sorry.
What?
Nothing. I want to get these people. I want to get everyone on here. I just want to make sure I got to hit the right buttons.
Yeah, don't turn any. Yeah, he's using his left hand.
So Carol, good morning. Thank you.
We got Nicole. We got Carol. We got Tyler's on. Katie's on.
And we got Stacy.
Phyllis is on.
And for everyone, Stacy is a celebrity herself. That is Skylar Ray's mama right there. So everyone give a big shout out to Stacy.
Hey, Stacy.
And her amazing son and future daughter-in-law, Kayla. And my brother, the one and only Tyler.
Who's laughing at me, by the way.
Oh, we're getting there.
And
Tyler, by the way, brother, I saw, like I said, your interview. Mm-hmm. And I want to thank you so much for giving me a shout out on your show. I appreciate that, man. It means a lot to me.
And Ruthie's joined us.
Well, I got to make sure I button everything down here.
Yeah, I don't want to spill anything.
Just kidding. And Nicole is also in, I believe, Vancouver, Washington as well. And good morning to you, Nicole. You're going to be coming on our show. I can't remember. Did I give you her information yet?
No.
If not, I think I was just rambling, believe it or not. So Nicole, I'm pretty sure that you did say that you wanted to come on because I know she's very tight with Sunshine there in Washington,
Mm-hmm.
and would like to share her story as well. So we're going to get Nicole on. So Nicole, if you could please send OG
Message me.
message on Messenger. You just message her and
I'll get
you
back
say
with
your
you.
hellos. Yeah, send because she's got some stuff that she's going to need to set up with you.
Yeah.
And we'll take care of that and we will get you on, Nicole. And thank you for coming on,
Fabulous.
man. Really appreciate
Excellent.
it. And did I hit it?
Yep. You're good.
Katie. Good morning, Katie. And congratulations on your hubby with 4 years and 1 day. I'm so proud of him, and I love you guys so much. Katie and Danny are very special people. I mean, everybody in this family is. We all have special little spots and places and tender moments and all that. But yeah, last night was for Danny, and congratulations again.
4 years.
And it went as well as it can be expected for yesterday. It did, and getting ready for the next step. We got Phyllis, who is also in this extended family, who is with Lori, and part of our
February 3rd.
Part of our Athens, Alabama family. Phyllis is going to be coming on and sharing her story.
February 3rd. Yeah.
February the 3rd, 7 p.m.
Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time, My Fight Our War. Thank you for that, Phyllis. I know that there were some incidents that came up that you were supposed to do this. Well, you don't have to worry. You're doing it here with us.
Yeah.
You're part of this family, and we are here to listen to you and support you 100%. You are not alone when you're with My Fight Our War. And also with our awesome Lori in Athens, Alabama, and the
We'll blame it on the anesthesia.
Just help me out.
Left over in Athens, Alabama.
Okay, see, okay. Now, when I'm stumbling here, jump on in.
By the way, Phyllis said she's going into Tutwiler prison Saturday. I'm hoping not as a prisoner, but to do a talk.
Is this a plan, or is this court ordered? Is this court ordered, Phyllis? Is there something we need to? You know what? This could add on to your story.
Exactly.
He does some talks there, and Phyllis, thank you so much for everything you do.
What a good heart.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Katie, we are doing good. What is this? Taylor. Tyler is what?
He's resting. Got a rest day.
There you go. Those are always fun. You know what? And the thing is, it just happens. Carol.
Oh.
Are you reading?
No, I'm looking for it, but I don't see it.
It's on the screen.
I can't see that far. I have my glass. Even with my glasses on, I couldn't.
Well, that just makes you hear better. You can't see with them on. You can't hear with them off. You put your glasses. She takes her glasses off and she can't hear. She's like, I can't hear. Where are my glasses? I'm like, what did you just say? She goes, I said I can't hear. Where are my glasses?
Oh my God.
I'm pretty sure they go on your eyes and not in your ears. So again, another story.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually something I've been hearing for many, many, many years, and I've been ignoring it, thinking, well, these doctors know. But yes, you're right, Nicole, and I'm going to start maybe listening a little. Probably not, but
he's got exercises he has to do today.
Oh yeah, I do get to exercise. Oh, look at that! You're getting a shout out. You are a rock star. Yeah, she's partying like one.
Oh yeah.
Give me my gummy.
No,
that was so funny.
Coffee.
She's stoned.
Oh, never again. Oh my God. That was
Tyler,
awful.
he's like, I'm screaming, laughing here, man. We're here to put some fun and entertainment into your lives, guys. That's what it's about. Glad all is well. Thank you, Ruthie. I hope all is well with you. Here we go. This is from Nicole for you. Oh, yesterday she sent a friend. Oh, her,
yeah.
You.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. All you had to do is press the next button. Got it. And thank you. All right, Katie. We love you, honey.
So much love in this.
And I love, and you go from that. We love you to going to prison Saturday.
Yeah.
Well, but no, I got you, Phyllis. And thank you for your service,
prison
man.
ministry. That's
and
very,
everything you do,
nice
man.
of
You're a very strong person. And what she got going on here now? I'm laughing my butt off right now.
Oh, well.
No, it's not. Oh, but yeah. So we got that going on. All the different shows I just mentioned. Of course, Sundays at 7:00. If you go to YouTube, please go to YouTube at My Fight Our War, and please subscribe and like and share and all that good stuff. It'd really help us out. And then if you can switch over to TikTok and follow us there, it'd help us out tremendously. We do have someone pretty special coming on as well. Someone I've been reaching out to for years, last 2 years. Even before that, no, actually it has been years, because we were chit-chatting well before My Fight Our War. Someone who everyone in Detroit area knows, especially if you're into sports and especially if you are into hockey. Johnny Wharton, who's a trainer for the Detroit Red Wings, is someone I've known going through social media for a few years now, going back and forth, probably for the past 5 years, because it was when I was having all my knee surgery. So that's got to be that's probably 7, 8 years. So I've been chit-chatting with Johnny about his stuff. And he just celebrated. Shoot, I don't want to get it wrong, so give me a second here, because I saw his post and it in fact he just confirmed that Saturday. And for Johnny, we are going to do the show Friday, Saturday the 1st at 7 p.m. And I'm going to go over. I got to give him get a hold of him for that. But more importantly, I wanted to get this right. 9 years, John Wharton. 9 years. Yeah, last night.
Wow.
He had his last drink. So, I mean, God bless you, John, and everyone else who shares. That's what it's all about, sharing these memories. Yeah. And it just helps so much for me. Just starting this is like, all you guys know that know me, have been following us, is I've never had any training as a counselor, as a peer coach, anything like that at all. I'm one of you guys, man. I'm one of you. And just by listening and sharing is just, what helps, what doesn't help. And, what I've had people tell me, and what I've said as well, is, people will sometimes say, why would you want to go in front of the nation, social media? And they almost like said, air your dirty laundry, because I did it. I owned it. And now I'm cleaning it up, and it's something to be proud of. And that's what this is for, to move forward. And that's what we do. And I remember having a few people that after the show, we talked afterwards, and they were pretty emotional, saying how they didn't know what to expect, especially the ones who've never done interviews. And now you're coming live, doing a show, and it's you're telling your deepest, darkest personal issues that some of your own family and friends don't know, and you're telling them to the world. And afterwards, they said, Manny, I couldn't believe it. Felt so refreshing. It felt like I could breathe. And I can honestly say, when I did my first interview, and I've been doing them now for the last 2 years, and on all these different shows I've been on, I catch myself digging in a little deeper into my story and saying stuff, because a lot of times OG will be somewhere in the green room watching. When we were in New York, they have the separate green room where you can put on your headsets and watch the interview as we're in the studio. Or I'll come out from a different show, and she'll say, you know what, I've heard your story. I know your story, but every time I learn new things, and it's just because
truth comes out.
Yeah, a little more. You'll dig
Mhm.
Dan and Donna when I did Hard
Mhm.
Knocks. It depends on the host.
Yep.
It depends on the question, man. And it's something that they hit one time, and that is it's a question that I was never asked before. And it was one that I didn't know if I would answer or not. And I'm like, screw it. And I went into it, and it was hard. It hurt. You know, there were a lot of tears, but afterwards it was like, yeah, you know, I owned it.
Mhm.
And as I always say, man, what we've done, what we've said, what our actions were in the past, we've got to own that. Because if we don't, it will always own us. And we can't let that happen. Let's see. Let's share your story a little bit.
Yeah, Nicole says your story is awesome.
Yeah, I
awe-inspiring or
appreciate
whatever. It's
that.
good.
I
Yeah,
really
it
do.
is true.
And the thing is, all of our stories, and another thing, like your friend Brenda, Nicole, your friend Brenda, when we were talking, she had second thoughts about the show
Mhm.
because she saw a show prior to hers, and it was pretty intense. You know, they're all different, but they're all kind of the same when the struggles and the pains and all that. And afterwards, she was like, you know what? I don't know if I want to do it because, you know, after that, no one's going to want to hear my little old story.
Mm-mm.
And I go, listen. And I go, it's like, you know, sun. I go, you're like a ball of sunshine, man. And she's sunshine from now on.
Mm-hmm.
I go, your story is going to affect more people than you'll ever know because it's yours.
Mm-hmm.
And she was still back and forth, but thank God she decided to still do it.
Mm-hmm.
And the comments lit up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people were crying in the comments. They're like, I'm bawling here.
Yep.
And they were thanking her for sharing their stories, that they're not the only ones feeling this way and all that. So that's what I mean. So thank you to Sunshine for that. Nicole, for you coming on and inspiring people as well. I'm trying to read what Michael's got. Can you read it? Like Michael's, my left eye's getting worse.
Glad to see you up and doing your thing right after surgery. Just checking in on you. Can't watch, unfortunately, but take it easy.
Oh, I thank you, Michael. We still got to get some things worked out, and we'll
get back with you.
We'll get back with you, and you have a great day, man. Have a great day at work. Be safe.
And but back to what you were saying, because on January 6th, when Brenda shared her story, boy, oh boy, we got a lot of wonderful comments. The beautiful thing is the no guilt, blame, or shame in this family. Just support. That's awe-inspiring. Y'all. Okay, Lori, that was for you. Y'all
yeah, Lori,
are very
Phyllis.
Inspiring.
See that? You Alabama people, look what you're doing to us Detroit people,
man. I'm practicing for June.
Yeah, so I'm up here like, okay, homie, don't y'all. And now all of a sudden I turned into y'all. I've actually done that a few times. I was sitting there talking. I go, all right, well, y'all have a good y'all. And then you know me, I'll say whatever, man. And I was doing something, and it was serious, and it was kind of poignant, and I was going through this, and I went to end it being just as serious. Okay, we are here, this, and we're here for you all and this. And I go, okay, so y'all I go, man, I just went from this Detroit, city boy to the country bumpkin. What the hell happened there? And then I was like, what was I talking about now?
We lost it.
So y'all, but I am fixing. I'm fixing to come to Athens, Alabama, and see, what people don't know is when you get to the level I'm at, when people ask you to speak, when there's a fee to have me come and speak at your events.
Very expensive. Very expensive.
A Dubs burger.
Yay!
I mean, I didn't realize. I mean, obviously, before I started this stuff, there are these amazing speakers and stuff that are world renowned, and of course, they are on TV. Yes, they get paid lots of money. I get a Dubs burger.
Yay!
And you know what? I'm happy with it. I swear to God. Now, $10,000 a Dubs burger. You give me both, I'm a happy guy.
But he still wants the Dubs burger no matter what.
I'm just messing. But no, seriously, when Lori said, thank you for coming and all that, and when you come in here, we're going to get you a Dubs burger. I'm like, I'm in. We'll be there. So yeah, so that's I got another one here. What do we got? It's for sir. Go ahead.
Who you about Nicole?
Yeah, the one that just popped up.
Each person's story will touch a person who relates to that story. It brings hope for the future. And she loves Brenda. She's a beautiful person. Yes, we know Brenda is a beautiful person.
She's awesome.
But Nicole, it takes a beautiful person to know a beautiful person. So it
takes one to know one. I know you are, but what am I? So that makes you beautifuler.
Beautifuler? Okay, good.
And that makes us beautifulest. It's still the anesthesia.
Yeah.
I don't usually talk.
We're going to blame it on that for a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Now. When I come and see you guys, when I come to see y'all in June, and I'm fixing to get up there, and I'm saying some silly stuff, y'all just be kind. Just say, y'all, he just had surgery 6 months ago.
Yep. The leftover gases in his head.
Yeah, man. But we're just going to continue with the shows. And please, what we were talking about last night is this is all interactive. The more interaction with all of you, the better. As far as sharing things, you don't have to be a guest on the show. What we want is your comments, just like this, a conversation. I mean, trust me, we love looking up and seeing, hi, how you doing? Or, hi, OG, hi, Manny. That's, love that. Please don't stop that. But we want more than that. Your family. I mean, if that day you're like, listen, man, I had a great day at work today. Something happened. They had me. I was the first time I had to head this project. I had to do this, and I knocked it out of the park. Something that small, maybe small to you think someone else, but it's big to you. So let's celebrate it. Lori
is in the house.
Man, did Phyllis call you?
Because we were talking about you Southern
and how you asked me to come and speak at your event, and I said, well, to have me come and speak at an event costs a lot. And you said, well, we'll give you a Dubsburg, and I said, I'm in. And to everyone who may have just popped on, no, I don't. No. Money and me, as far as going anywhere, all you got to do is hit up OG and just say, we'd like for you guys to come to our event, and we will come to your event. But if you do have food, we are persuaded by food. So Dubsburger, where else that you, whatever your food specialty is, throw that into your comments as well. It was like, hey, we'd like you to come to, like with Sunshine, we would like you to come to Vancouver, Washington.
Give you waffles.
Hands over the bridge. And in return for payment for you coming here, we will give you a plate of lasagna.
Oh, baby.
I'm in. That's all it takes. So there you go.
And his tastes vary. I mean, from goulash to egg salad. It's a
yeah.
He likes
it all. That's right. Goulash today.
I gotta look up a recipe.
Oh, here we go. We got Lori.
She's invited the whole squad, everybody in the family.
From what Lori said, I was talking to Lori a couple of days ago, and she said, just so you know, she goes, you're going to meet a lot of people down here, which I was looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to meeting. I want to meet everyone at Athens, Alabama. I want to be there. Whatever you have set up. I mean, we're looking forward to sitting and meeting and greeting as many as we can. And then she informed me that a lot of your people are coming. So a lot of my fighter or whoever it is, and we do recover with my brother Skylar Ray.
It's one big happy family.
And so thank you so much for Lori, for all you're doing.
She says, wear your federal prison starter kit.
Don't leave one without it. And definitely looking forward to it. What else we got here?
For Phyllis, she's going to go talk in the prison. She goes, the good thing is would those doors slam behind me, but they will open back up so she can get back out again.
Well, yeah, but I'm sure some of the other guys thought that too. And it's like, hey, what do you mean this is enter only?
Manny, will you accept a collect call from?
Oh, man. Well, this isn't funny, but you're saying that reminded me of one of the times I got arrested. And I was in jail, and it was right before the Michigan Ohio State game. And there's supposedly I was under the influence of alcohol. I was too drunk to remember that part, so I don't know if it's true or not. And the killer thing is I know these guys that lock up because I was taking prisoners there when I was with Detroit Police. But this was.
Well, you were a policeman at the time, right?
Well, that was another time.
Oh, okay.
Thanks.
Okay.
This time I'm sitting there, but they all knew that I can't go in general lockup, man, because of who I am or was. And at the time, there were a lot of guys who didn't like me. And so they had the center bay, and on the other side, they had all the cells with everybody in there screaming and yelling. And sure as shit, didn't take long for someone, hey, you fucking motherfucker. Then that one, that Detroit cop, son of a bitch. Well, there's my door wide open. I had a phone in my cell. So I'm walking
the executive suite.
I'm walking out and I'm talking to the guards. They're like, man, we just get back in there. Just go lay down. So I go back in and I'm like, why? I grab the phone. I call a buddy of mine, my brother. I go, hey, listen, call so-and-so. I want Michigan +7. I'm calling Benson from the cell at Macomb County Jail. So yeah, that was an interesting time. Man, I cannot wait to get this eye fixed. January 31st, I'm going to get my left eye done. So what happened was I went and I had them both done. I had the
intraocular lens.
Good God, burpish. My both lenses replaced, so I didn't need glasses or anything. But prior to that, they do a evaluation on you to see that you're a candidate for the surgery, which takes a whole 5 minutes. Mine took an hour and a half because it's me. And that's because they kept coming in and asking these questions. Were you in a serious accident? Have you had traumatic head injuries? And I was just like, huh? I'm like, how many? Or did I ever? I'm like, multiple. I've had multiple concussions playing hockey. Having a gun shoved in your face and a trigger pulled and blown. I mean, having a plate put in my eye. Numerous altercations and fights. Yes, I've had a lot of headshots. They said you've had a tremendous amount of hemorrhaging behind, both your retinas are damaged. This is damaged. That's damaged. And I was like, holy shit. But they were able to do the surgery. And that was probably 4 years ago or whatever it was. And afterwards, she said, your left eye, there might be an issue, but we'll just keep an eye on it. And all of a sudden, like within the last month and a half, it went from blinking, like when you get the like sleepy eyes and kind of like that film, you just kind of wipe the sleep out of them. Well, it wouldn't go away. And it almost looked like a film right over my eyes, what it seemed like I was looking through. And sure enough, I go back and that's what it was. This issue with my eye, the left eye that he was worried about. He has to go in, and it's a very simple procedure in the office where they just use a laser, zap the shit out of it. So when you see me sitting going like this, I mean, if I go like this, I can read it with my good eye, but it takes a second to focus. So that's why OG reads it. But she has to take her glasses off, but then she can't hear. But anyways,
you have to be there to understand what he's talking about.
I regress.
Oh, yes, you do.
I regress, or whatever that means. Let's see.
Tyler said every time he said, I'm allergic to Xanax. Every time he takes Xanax, he breaks out in handcuffs. He ends up in jail.
Goodness. That's a good one, Tyler.
That's a good one.
I like that. You know what? I'm allergic to alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I had alcohol, it turned me into an asshole. And
he wasn't always as lovable as he is now.
I was always this charming, lovable guy that you see before you. Yeah, I mean, there's guys and men and women in my life from the past 20, 30, 40 years that if they have not been in my life the last 5 years, and you were to walk up to them and say, yeah, Manny Vitale, you might get shot, hit, punched, stabbed by not being associated with me, or you would have heard a lot of things that were not complimentary at all. So it's very nice to be on this side.
Oh, let me read this. On Phyllis.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to.
Apparently, in one of her drinking.
There you go.
In one of her drinking episodes, she jumped out. Evidently, she jumped out of a second-story window and, of course, landed on her head and broke her back. Woke up out of a coma after 4 days. Like, how did I get here? Alcohol is poison, along with other pharmaceuticals. Absolutely. You're lucky you didn't break your neck.
Well, since you did, but what I love, we are so freaking cool and funny, and we're not making jokes of it. No, we're not making jokes of any of this. But we make, for me,
it's good to people,
I laugh at myself more than anyone. and I make fun of myself more than anybody because it's so freaking easy to do. But I love this. Apparently, one of my episodes, apparently, it's like supposedly this happened. I don't remember. I did it, but you know what? Oh, so that's a good one. What do we got going on here as we go down the line? Is it true though? Huh? What?
I don't see what you're talking about.
Well, she says, is it true though? So it must be some up here between Tyler and Lori. Tyler, LOL.
That's okay.
Lori, isn't your sobriety date tomorrow?
No, 27th. I responded to it.
Oh, right? Yeah. Yes, mine is Monday, the 27th. And I forgot to mention mine. I mentioned all the other ones. This coming Monday, as you guys know, on Mondays, we do our, what do we do? Our show. Yep. It's starting to kick in again. No, actually, I keep licking my lips here, so I'm not being weird with you guys, but when I put that freaking tube down, I got this cut on my lip now. But yeah, this Monday will be my 5th year of sobriety. And as we know, on Mondays, we usually do our shows with all the guests that come on, share their stories. I've been thinking about this a little bit, and what I wanted to do was, and since we just had our 2-year anniversary with my man, the Wolf Pack back there, I just love that guy. He's always got my back. Just every time. Sometimes I'll be doing a show or talking, and some of the things that we hear and talk about, they're pretty sad. But they're energetic, and they rejuvenate our thoughts and our focus that we can do anything. And also, I'll glance up and I see those eyes. And it's just like, yep, there's nothing we can't do. So there'll be 2 years that we just had January 9th. And it'll be 5 year sobriety this coming Monday. So I wanted to kind of blend them two together. So this Monday, I'm going to be doing my story.
All about me.
So it's going to be my story, but it's going to be all about my Fight Our War. It's going to be everything that I did, my story, coming up to how my Fight Our War came about, and all of the things that happened since then, and just all the blessings. And I definitely want you guys to really, really please spread the word on this one, because it's not just because it's my story, it's our story of my Fight Our War, the beginning of my Fight Our War, which is all of you. And I really, really hope that you guys chime in with stories and about each other. I mean, if you guys got stories of me, that some stupid, funny stuff that I've done that have helped you in the past, please share them. If I've done some really silly things that we're like, what the hell is it? Share them. I mean, silly, embarrassing, I don't mind. If you have stories that you want to share of experiences that you've had on this show that have helped other people, post them. I mean, this Monday show is about all of us. So please, really, I really hope you take part in that way. Oh, okay. I must have went all the way down here. Oh, okay. Oh, that's you. Are you messing with this?
Yeah, I'm messing with you. No, Nicole had talked about how she goes into the area, the incarcerated prisons, and talks to folks, and to hear the door slam behind her, but at least she gets to walk out.
Oh, Phyllis.
What she loves is to be able to. Let me. I want to get her words together. Is going in to meet inmates and enroll them in services and getting them to share my story with them and hear their story and give them a chance to actually be heard, and then walking alongside of them at their release to build a new life. That is rocking.
And I love. Now, did you say Phyllis or Nicole?
That's Phyllis. No, wait a minute. No, that's Nicole. I apologize. Let me go back.
You sure?
Nicole. It's Nicole.
Oh, okay. So that I was gonna say, I thought you said Phyllis.
No, I may
okay,
have.
So that's for Nicole. And that, you know what? You just said something. And sometimes we've been doing the show now, and I almost said we've only been doing it a year, but it seems like we've been doing this for so long.
Ever.
And it's because it's I love this. And I'll pick out little things that I hear or see. And for you to say that is something that is my Fight Our War. I love walking out beside them. That's what we do here. We don't walk in front of you. We're not walking. We don't want anyone walking behind us. We walk side by side, man. When it comes to battling addiction, mental health issues, anything else, we do not walk in front of you. We will walk side by side because we're not going to do this for you. You know, this isn't no fucking camp. You know, we are going to be there. This is my fight, our war. This isn't go play tiddlywinks in the park, man. This is my fight, our war. And it's a battle. Addiction isn't some cute little name. It's a freaking ugly ass name. But addiction is not a death sentence. And addiction screwed up when it messed with us because we are warriors. We are champions, man. And we stick together. And when I say we don't walk in front of you, you know, to guide the way, I'm not saying anything derogatory, but you got to do this for yourself first and foremost. But I guarantee you, we are next to you. If you start to fall, we're going to catch you. Just like I know if I'm falling, someone's going to catch me. So I love you guys, man. That's what this is about. This is what it's about, is being there and taking this shit as serious as we know it is. And that's the joy of my fight, our war. I've told many, guests and friends and relatives of guests that, you know, sometimes just one, that they said addiction is just so powerful that they didn't know if they could beat it. I go, well, quit giving it that power. Every time I would bring up addiction, oh, I don't know. It's so strong and overwhelming. I go, addiction's a bitch. That's what addiction is. Addiction's a coward. Addiction comes when does it come and creeping into our lives? When we're at our weakest and our lowest. When we're kicking ass and taking names and helping people, addiction's like, we can't touch them. Let's go find that guy who just maybe got a little bit sober, but still like teetering. Let's pounce on him. That's the coward of addiction. Now, you know, you see addiction. No, it doesn't play with us. But again, addiction, and I'm here to tell you because they told me I had 6 weeks to live. And then turned around and said, when we said that, we didn't think you'd make it 48 hours. And they just said, you know, and from that point out, I told the doctor, I said, well, you know what? Addiction's a word. It's not a death sentence. And we're all here living proof of that. So that's awesome, man. Love you guys for that.
And you can say that because you were at death's door.
Yeah. I mean, when they came in and, you know, I was at the hospital yesterday with my surgery and this nurse who was taking care of me, a wonderful nurse, Susan. We were talking and said something about podcast, and she goes, yeah, I wanted to ask you about it. So, of course, I jumped right in, and, you know, she sat there and gave her the lowdown, and then told her about how it happened and what led to all this. And here, she's a OR nurse, and so I'm telling her about going to the hospital, organs shutting down, or organ failure, and then organs totally shutting down. As soon as I said that, she goes, well, that's it. She goes, when they're done, they're done. You don't come back from that. And I go, yep. And I go, well, then hospice came in. And she goes, well, it's over. You know, when hospice takes over your care, it's just a matter of time. I go, yep. I go, Monday will be 5 years. And when I told the story, she kept looking down. She goes, I've got goosebumps.
Yep.
And she goes, you shouldn't be here. Then she found out about the shooting, the stabbing, the sepsis, the appendix bursting, my lungs filling full of blood.
All the boring things that have happened.
Yeah, the minor death experiences. And she's like, you're here for a reason. I'm like, just like everybody in this column.
That's right.
We're all here for a reason. No, I thought I saw a couple.
Well, addiction's a liar for Nicole, and
there you go,
punching it right in the face with Tyler. With his,
and that's what I love. You know what? Don't be afraid of addiction. Go in there, man, spit in his face. You know what? And people are like, well, you have to respect it. Could you respect it? I will kick the shit out of it. No, you don't respect something like that. You know, you treat it and you come after it with the power and that it's coming after you to destroy you. You come at that with 10 times that amount of force and anger and violence. Like I said, you know, when God put my fight, our war into my, I dropped back. You can't. I was going to say, can you reach it? But you can't. No, you would have to crawl over.
True.
God knows what would happen.
This knock the table over.
Don't laugh at the wolf. Yes, it's a wolf. No, I was not drinking when I made it, just because I can't draw. But this here is my fight, our war. This is on January the 8th. Yeah, January the 8th. Nice. January the 8th of 2023. I was sitting there at the table when I wrote this down.
Oh,
So that was that night when this all came to me. And I swear to God, man, and I'll save some of this. I've said it a few times, but I'm sure everyone's not listening. I've met other people, so not you guys. And Nicole, you're right. Addiction's a liar, and it's a bitch. But and I'm not kidding. When I wrote this all in less than 5 minutes. I mean, just sitting there thinking to myself, I was just sitting at that table by myself, and I remember thinking, I need a name. I need a name for. Well, I don't know what I'm doing. I've never started anything. I never started my own page. Back when Facebook came around 15, whatever years ago it was, friends of mine at work were all talking about it. And I'm like, what's that? And they're like, Manny, really? You don't have Facebook? I don't even know anything about it. So they had to put my page together. I didn't know about it. Now I just know to push this button to go there. So that's my extent. So now I'm faced with, I am going to build a social media platform for battling addiction, mental health, and all that. But I don't want to be just like, it's coming from my heart. And I felt something just boiling over inside of me with this, the seriousness of it. And I remember sitting there going, well, I can't just go to my or Facebook and put, all you drunk mental health issues, follow me. But then again, who knows? And I put the paper down. I picked up my pen and I put it down. And this is the actual paper. My Fight, Our War, I wrote, and I'm looking at it, and you notice the way I wrote it, in that arc. And I wrote that first. I did that first, and I'm looking at it. I remember thinking, I was sitting there by myself at the table. I was like, what the hell? And I started to laugh. I'm like, My Fight, Our War. And all of a sudden I looked up and I'm like, my fight, alcohol. Someone else's, might be meth. Someone else's might be heroin. Something else might be an eating disorder. That's their fight. Our war is addiction. Our war is mental health issues. Our war is depression. That's our war. But, together, in a whole, it's our war is addiction and it's our war. And I looked up. I'm like, man, you're good. So then I grabbed my pen again and I wrote, and it's on the bottom. You can see behind my shoulders here. It says, join our pack. You'll never be alone. Within 5 minutes, I wrote that. And I just remember I sat back. And of course, as those of you know me, it doesn't take much at all to get this boy crying. So, of course, my eyes were watering. And I looked up and I was like, man, you're good. You're good. My Fight, Our War. And so the next day, I've got it taped. I've got another piece of paper taped on the cross of my bedroom. And it said my name. It says Manny Vitale, and it has the date and it has Gunner, my club mate, my biker name. And I stuck it on that cross. And that was and I did it that night, January the 8th, because before I go to bed every night, because I didn't know, because I was really good for, I'm going to do this. I'm going to form this. I'm going to create this tomorrow. And then then I'd never do it. That was all talk. I forced myself to tape that to the cross of all places, which is my faith. Because every night before I went to bed, I looked at that cross and I saw that message to myself to do this. And every morning when I get up, I would see that cross. Well, that morning I got up and I went over to Facebook, typed it in, create a page, create a group, boom, January 9th, My Fight, Our War. And we've been booming ever since. And so this little piece of paper, which I keep right on my microphone thingy. See, I told you I'm high tech. My red box with dials. Yeah. It's there you go again. See, I just wander. I don't even know what you're talking about, but
doesn't matter.
I just wander. Oh, gee, say something. Go ahead, take over.
Well, actually, Nicole had said, which I thought was nice, that paper needs a frame. And I'm thinking, actually, I might maybe if you will allow it to leave the house, I could maybe have it laminated so it doesn't get wrinkled or soiled or,
Soiled? What do you think I'm going to do to it?
Spill water on it? Or
come on,
Susie might throw up on it.
A nurse saying soiled? Come on now.
Okay.
That's, wait a minute.
Where is Susie, by the way?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, there it is. You know what, Nicole? Good idea. Because this here, is the beginning of what you see right behind me. That's that's my boy. Yeah, my fight, our war, man. And it's the first time I've ever done anything as far as social media. It's the first time I've ever done on a show. So I had to go to a printer, and I had this made. I go, I need a logo. They go, for what?
Such a good job with that.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know. I go, I've never done this. I don't know how to. They go, what's your concept? So I go, well, my fight, our war. And every time when I first walked in there and said that, she was like, what is? I told her what we did and what my plan was. My vision was to help all those, what I just said, with addiction and stuff, mental health issues. And how the wolf, I've got a wolf pretty much just like that, tattooed on my back that's been there since it's probably 35 years ago that I had tattooed on my back. You talk about things happen for a reason. Little did I know that huge wolf that's tattooed on my back, that just the head, just like that, would be literally watching over my shoulder every show I do. I mean, that just goes to show you, man, God's will. And so I told her what I wanted, and I picked out a bunch that I thought were going to be incredible. And a couple of them were just snarling wolves that looked like they wanted to eat your face. And because to me, this is a war, and I wanted people to see our logo and know that you don't screw with us, that we are a family that will go to bat for you. We will be there for you. And if you're part of addiction and all that stuff, we will come after you with everything we got. She came up with like 5 or 6 different plans. And I'm looking at them like, it looks like a freaking dog. It looks like, which I'm sure they are, of course. But I don't want someone to walk up and just pet this son of a bitch. I want them to know that you come near it and and another thing is the wolf pack mentality. They're protective of their own, the way they take care of each other and support each other. I've loved the wolf pack mentality. This one that you're looking at was the very first one. But then the layout, she had the layout completely different. Some of them were straight. And so I'm the one, and I stuck to my guns. And I go, no, this is what I want. But she was the one, that first one that we see. And I went and I thanked her for it too, because I got so many compliments on it. And we've grown from then. So, but that's a very good idea, Nicole. And yeah, let's do that. So before you do that, find a place wherever you're going to do that.
I can do that at the office.
All right. Well,
I'll leave it here for now.
Yeah, we'll do that one because that's a good idea. And I could just hang it on the wall here. Well, no, I want to put it in
right.
So that way I can flip around and show it. Man, there goes hold on a second. Go ahead, Phil.
Well, I'm just watching you with your left hand opening up the water bottle, because they're not really supposed to be water by all this electrical equipment, but
Yeah, that's so funny too, because I remember listening to different shows, and like my 97.1 and all the different 94.7 with Screaming Scott, and all these different ones. And all of a sudden you hear, oh shit, oh no. And it's because someone spilled their water on them. And I was like, well, you're not supposed to do that. As I've got 2 water bottles and stuff, and it's just like, oh, look at this.
Brenda,
go ahead, OG.
Oh, okay. Well, Brenda said she didn't have cell service inside the building to be online. But you're such a warrior. God has big plans for you guys, and I'm so glad to be part of it. We're glad you're part of it. And I had no doubt that you would be up going early this morning, of course. I
was thinking about going down to Father Solanus. I was I go, wait a minute. We don't have anything going on, man. I can go to Father Solanus. My mom's like, just stay home. And I forgot I was talking to my mom when I said it. It's like, oh. But
sometimes I have to put a seatbelt on the couch just and click it so he won't move. But
Brent, I'm not sure if you saw.
We were talking about you.
Your friend, our family, Nicole, has been chit-chatting and just coming up with some just great stuff. And looking forward to seeing you guys when we come to Washington. It's going to be a great time. And it's Nicole, sorry. Hi, Brenda. See, now that's what this is about, man.
I'll tell him, because sometimes, when he's talking, he can't read all the different comments that are going on. And I said, while you're talking, people are talking to each other. They're communicating and supporting each other and reaching out to each other. And then, oh, by the way, then they'll stop and listen to Manny again. But it's beautiful. That's what the family
That's
does.
what I want. That's what I've been.
That's
what I've been pushing since day one. Is I've always said I want this to feel like if you had a party and everyone's just hanging in the front room, sitting around, just chit chatting downstairs in the man cave, playing pool, playing darts, everyone chit and chat, everyone talking, sharing stories. Sitting out by the fire pit, just sharing stories. That's what I want our family to be all the time, man. So when we're doing these shows and you see, hey, Nicole's on. Nicole, what's going on? How are you? Carry on your conversation. Then, oh, by the way, that's right, man. GRI. You know what? Because that's, and that's
perfect.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want the more interaction with all of you, the better. That's the whole point. That's the whole point of this. The whole point. Yeah, I've seen some shows, and I'm not slamming anyone for their show. I mean, God bless you for what you do. It depends on their platform. Depends on what they want. I mean, if you want the whole show to be totally about you as the host and your ideas, there's nothing wrong with that. If you've got something that you're a specialist at and you're sharing all your information, it should be about you. And if it's about promoting you and yourself and your expertise, by all means, man, you light that sucker up about you, your accomplishments, where you've been and where you're going. I've said a million times, this is not an I and a me. This is a us and a we when it comes to My Fight, Our War. When it comes to music and mayhem, when it comes to bullshitting with the boys, when it comes with riding with the Detroit Outlaws, with me and Pancho and Cisco, Screaming Scott, and Loco Joe. Do I miss anyone? I think so.
Well,
but all that we're doing.
Well, you never know how many more shows you're going to start because you got all your hockey buddies.
Oh, yeah. I tell you, I'm really looking forward to talking to Johnny Wharton. And who knows what that could turn into. I've got a good friend of mine at the gym that Johnny knows, John Blum, who played for the Red Wings. I work out with him at the gym, and he's coming on. So we could get, who knows? I'll talk to John, see if he's interested in doing a show. I think I got one more day left, 2 more days. We'll do a show a night, man. Why not? Just like me and Skylar were talking, you hear people all the time that want to, where'd it go?
What are you doing?
No, there's that two-way gooey shit that's underneath here to keep this, but it's all clumped up.
Is having physical hallucinations. I don't know.
If you guys can see me, I've got my hand on a table. It's like a Ouija board. I'm like, I found something. It's not there. I found something. But hey, you guys are watching. So if you're laughing at me right now, just say, well, we're actually watching this ass.
Yeah. I'm laughing at you too. It's funny.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here fondling the table, licking my lip. They're like, what is wrong with this guy? He can't talk. He's licking his lip. He's got a slur. You
can only blame it on the anesthesia for some reason.
Yeah.
Then you have to own up on it.
Yeah, man. Your operation was 6 months ago. Strong stuff, man. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to talking with John, and who knows, man, because I mean, obviously he's made it to the elite level, especially I'll never forget Johnny was part of so many memorable times with the Wings, man, back with Yzerman and Fedorov, Fetisov, Kozlov, Konstantinov, with Shanahan. I mean, all the guys, man, and of course, man, that scene, I'll never forget when Lemieux, that shot against Draper, burying him, busting his face up, his jaw. I remember Johnny Lee, jumping over the boards. First one, obviously, right there, man. And having his hand and towel just holding Chris's face together. And I remember the look in John's face. And, I've played hockey my whole life. I mean, I've, been in battles. I mean, I never made it to the elite level, but I played all the way through juniors. I mean, I was hoping to make it before my knees blew out. But seeing the look on his face, knew the seriousness of that. And it just really made me appreciate all those years that I was able to play. And even though I'm paying for it now, I mean, it just goes to show the wear and tear. And so the things that John did for the Detroit Red Wings, it's so many of those players to keep them. If it wasn't for him, John Wharton is a huge reason that the Wings also got those Stanley Cups. And, some people might be going, well, he's not a player. He's it's a team effort. His job was to keep those guys physically fit to get back out there when they couldn't. I mean, he did the impossible. He put them on programs and busted their ass. And these pros are worth millions, and they put their trust and faith in John Wharton. And he did it. He succeeded, and look what he did. He brought Stanley Cups to the Wings. Detroit Red Wings, the players, yes. John Wharton, big, huge part of that, definitely. God, I think was it Gilchrist, or who was the one that had a torn groin, and they were shooting him up in the training room?
Oh.
The players, I mean, we're used to getting shot up our knees, shoulders, or we all got it. That happened.
Pain meds,
but when you got, they said the excruciating pain getting injected there. I mean, and then he went out and played.
Lori asked a question. It's kind of funny the way she answered what I thought when I read it. Did you, Manny, ever knock anyone's teeth out in hockey? Not as a police officer or as a motorcyclist, but in hockey.
I was involved in a lot of scrums on the ice in hockey, boy. I think I took out some teeth with a cross check. Fighting, we had to go into the cages and stuff, and unless the helmet came off during the fight, we never really got good shots in. But then again, sometimes the buckles or straps on our helmets would loosen. And if you saw that come off, man, you just went as hard as you could, try to smash his cage into his nose and break his jaw or something like that. During a fight, of course. But I had mine all rattled. Some guy cross-checked me. I broke my nose, and back then, I mean, now, thank God for these kids and pros, they got concussion protocol that you got to do before the season and during the season to see if you can pass, the concussion protocol to continue. When I played, it was, no such thing. I remember, being laid out. Waking up with smelling salt. Okay. And I'm looking around, and you're just hearing echoes, and they're like, what's your, do you know who I am? Yeah. You coach. Okay. Do you know where you're at on the ice? Do you know what day it is? February. Okay. And then you just go back and you sit on the bench, you miss a shift, then you go back out there. And that's just how it was back then. That was in the 70s, 80s, in 90s or 70s, 80s for sure. And I remember one game, man, we were playing, I think it was Ann Arbor, Huron or something like that. They hated us. We hated them, man. It was fights all the time, and it was violent out there. And this dude cross-checked me, and then I got low cut, my legs taken out, and this guy got me a high and got my helmet and broke my nose. And I'm on the ice, and we were in our white jerseys, man. It looked like I got slaughtered. There was just blood all over. I make it to the bench. They're looking, my nose was over here. That's why I got this such a lovely face profile and all that. So, I know, Manny, you got a face for radio. But so I'm sitting there, and the trainer, who is also the science teacher, comes over, and he's like, snap, crunch, and he puts my nose back, and he tapes it. So I'm sitting there, and I just got rattled, man. I was dazed. I had no idea what was going on. But back then, it was like, you all right? I'm good. And that was it. So I'm sitting there with my helmet unbuckled, and I'm just watching all these people. It's like, oh, look at the pretty hockey players. Oh, that looks like fun. And all of a sudden I hear, Manny, and I hit my shoulder. That means you go. I jump the boards, and I'm skating towards a puck, and I start losing my balance because I'm still delirious. This guy drills me from behind with a cross check. I go face first into the glass. My helmet's undone, so the cage hits me again. Blood squirts everywhere. They get me to the bench, and now my nose is on the other side of my face. So they push it back together. Ouch. By the time I got to the locker room, and I'm sitting there between periods, and they're like, yeah, you might be done for the day. I looked in the mirror, and I already had raccoon eyes going. So, yeah, man, hockey's, well, nowadays they've changed it so much. And when Johnny comes on, man, we'll be sharing stories back in the day, especially when he was there, man, with our boy Bob Probert and Coaster, the Bruce brothers. Oh man, I tell you, I could talk hockey all day. I love it. Besides, I can always say about a passion. Helping as a first responder is with the police and EMS is huge. Always will be part of my heart. Hockey from the time I was in third grade up until now was something that I just busted my ass on. And of course this, but yeah, it's oh,
by the way, Nicole watched the AJ Galante thing, Crimes and Penalties.
Oh,
and she thought it was really good. And it is good. If Crimes and Penalties, and which until now, I really didn't watch much sports or listen to much sports, but I watched that and I have a big appreciation for hockey now. And we saw a game live in Danbury with AJ Galante hanging out with his
Yeah,
team.
we were a guest of AJ's after a show.
Yeah. But the crime and penalties, not only is it interesting because of the real story behind it, with
Jimmy Galante.
Some of it brutal, some of it hilarious. Some of these guys are just hilarious. What they did and well,
the thing is, I always say that hockey players, we are a different breed.
Amen.
And that'll be another thing with John and with and John Blum when they both come on to share stories. With you get a bunch of hockey players together. Well, just like football, I mean, you get a team. What they asked me, I've been asked, what do I miss? And I miss being in that locker room. You ask any player what they miss, and you're going to say one thing. Well, not one, but one of the first few is the camaraderie, that brotherhood. I remember sitting in our dressing rooms playing games where it was so brutal. Looking around at my guys, my last year, I was blessed to be voted captain. And I took that, and I'm just it was a big responsibility, man. And
nice honor.
I remember looking at our guys this one game, and we were just it was a war. I mean, there were cheap shots. Everyone was full of blood. People were hurting. People were in the bathroom puking. And we were going out to the next period. We did it again. We came back, and we're sitting there, and I'm looking at these guys. And I can't remember what happened, man. Something sparked. I started breaking shit, throwing stuff, and just firing these guys up. And it was all about the team. We went out there and just crushed this team that last period. It was like we were shot out of a cannon. But just being in that room with these guys, and it sounds so,
the energy,
like, rah, because you're sitting there, and it's like, it's not about you. It's a guy on your right and a guy on your left. And you doing something to make sure that they're going to be okay and all this. And you hear a lot about that in the service and in the military and the police and all that, which is true. But when you're on the ice, man, you got 10 guys, then the goalies, but battling out there. And I've been involved in some big ass fights where everyone on the ice is going at it, and your teammates are coming in and, there for you. But yeah, man, it was really cool. So Nicole, I mean, you saw, crime and penalties, and it's so cool because AJ,
it's on Netflix, right?
Netflix. Yep. Yeah. And you talk about a small world and how God's will. And here we are, 1 minute just starting with that little paper, My Fight, Our War. Next thing you know, I'm flying to White Plain, New York, and then over to Danbury, Connecticut to do a show with the mogul himself, Ian Bick, which was a privilege in itself. But then during that interview, something clicked where next, me and him are talking, and it's like, hey, something, we just really, really hit it off. And he opened up these doors of opportunity. So now not only do we have a studio in Connecticut that we fly to every 6 weeks. The people that we have met, AJ Galante, who's now
nice guy.
In fact, one day I was sitting here, Matt Cronin, our producer, of course, Ian Bick, everyone else, Leroy and everyone. I'm sitting here one day and I grabbed my phone.
Yeah, Leroy.
Me and Matt were talking about, let's do a show, bullshitting with the boys and a little interactive thing. And I thought about it. I go, who'd be cool at this? Then I grabbed my phone and I look, AJ. It's like, call AJ. I go, listen, man, we're going to do a show, bullshit with the boys. I think you'd be awesome, man. What do you think? Immediately, I'm in. Let's do it. And I remember afterwards just sitting there thinking, holy shit. I just went and grabbed my phone, AJ Galante, hit the button. And, it's like, here's a guy that I'm watching a documentary on Netflix. And now here we are going to do a show together. Here he is, after when we did the show in New York, Matt goes, hey, listen, AJ just invited us to come up and sit with him for his hockey game, along with some of the players that, and it's just like, this has opened up so many different doors and avenues that and I don't take 1 second of it for granted, because as fast as this all happened, I know it could all go away. So that's why when it comes to doing all this other stuff, I'm going to take advantage of every moment while I can.
Yeah, sometimes I think he has to pinch himself to realize what's going on in his life. I mean, some very nice doors have been opened.
It's incredible. I mean, first of all, like in the podcast world, this is all new to me. I've only been doing podcasts for less than a year, but yet, when I talk to people who've been doing this for 5, 10, 15 years plus, and we start talking about different people, and they're like, well, this person here, man, if you can get on their show. And I go, I already did their show. I mean, I just met, because that was one of the first ones I did. Brad McLeod, Sober School, Dan and Donna, Hard Knocks. And they're like, okay, and then, like I said, everybody, I'm not shortcutting anyone or, downplaying anyone's show everyone that I've been on, Sober School, Hard Knocks, Locked In with Ian Bick, Sober Patrol, Scar Nation, Sober Society. There's so many.
What's your favorite? My Fight or War.
But all of these shows, and I'm sorry if I didn't say your name, I'm not disrespecting you, but I've been so blessed. Before, it was a short list, so I just rattled them off. And now I'm going to be doing another one with Talking Trash and Pine Case with with Kalisha. And just to be able to say that is such an honor, to know that somebody wants me to be part of their show is very humbling. And I don't take that lightly. And that's why whenever I do a show and all that, I will give you 100%. In fact, it kind of went a little bit south when we were in New York, because we usually do between 12 and 15 shows in 3 days, which is a lot of shows. The first time we flew out there, our producer, Matt, he goes, I'm lining up these guests for you. And, if we can do 3 days, if we can do maybe 5 or 6 shows, that's going to be a lot. Okay. I go, well, shit, we're going to be there 3 days. If we do, 4 shows a day, he's like, no one's done that before. That's a lot of shows. Our first day, or our first trip, we do 15.
Oh yeah, something like that.
I did. He lined up
back and forth, because you're.
Yeah, I was on. 2 shows. It was a back and forth flip flop. So it was actually 12 then that I did with guests on, and then 2 that I was a guest on theirs. So in 3 days we did 15 shows, and it was a marathon, and I had a blast. The next time out there did. I can't remember how many, but this last time we were there was
December 13th.
Well, this last time was I was having vicious.
Yeah, vicious.
Yeah,
his voice started to go.
But those you guys who've been following, I have a gravelly voice to begin with, just because of issues back in the day with a lot of screaming and yelling. I damaged my vocal cords. So every now and then this will start to happen. So that's normal. Well, that started happening the week before going to New York, but people were getting sick left and right, but I wasn't sick. It was just my throat. So I'm like, I'm not canceling these. So we flew to New York, got there Friday. I think we did a couple shows Friday, and that was a little rough. Saturday, I had to do, I think, 4.
It's tough.
And by the 4th one, or 5th one, I think, because I did a show. And thank God it was Ian Bick. My brother Ian was the last show. He was a guest on my show, and my voice was gone. But not only that, I started to feel a little under the weather, and that's the first time this came up. But I promised these people that I was going to be there, and if I'm going to be there, I'm going to freaking be there, unless something terrible. So I was there. The last show, I literally, if you hopefully will go see My Fight or War, see the episode with myself and Ian, I couldn't talk at the end. He had to carry most of the interview. And we left that night. That was going to be it. Just go back and relax. And then Matt comes in. He goes, hey, AJ just called. He wants us to be guests sitting with him for his hockey game with Danbury Hat-Tricks. I was like, well, I'm not going to pass up seeing AJ. By the time we got there, man, I felt like hell. My head, my throat was killing me. And to let you know how bad it was, I left the game early. That never happens. And I'm like, we got to go. Yeah. And she just looked at me.
Like, wow.
I was like, whoa. So we left, but it was so cool because walked in the door and there's AJ. So we're sitting with him, man, hugging. Hey, man, good to see you. And all of a sudden, there's Matt. So me, got a really good picture. Me, Matt. And what a coincidence, because now we're doing a show together.
Yeah.
That's the one I posted.
Nice.
So we're sitting there, and AJ goes, well, hold on a second. I want to introduce you to somebody. Excuse me. He goes, I want to introduce you to someone. I was a player who they just traded for and who just got into town. So he wasn't playing that night. So he was sitting up in the or with the owners and the management up in AJ section. So he goes, yeah, this is Isaac. So I got to meet, his player. And so we're talking, getting pictures taken. And all of a sudden, AJ and Matt walk up and they go, hey, listen, someone's outside, wants to meet you. It was the coach of the team. So I got to go outside. The coach came up and met us and got to talk with him. I mean, just having a great time. And then sat down. It was like, I knew something was wrong. By the time I got back to the hotel, my throat, I could not even talk. I mean, it hurt so bad. I had 3 shows booked for the next day. And it's the first time I've ever had to cancel. And it pissed me off. But I couldn't talk. I couldn't. I was so, I go, maybe I can, and I just couldn't. But yeah. So, I mean, these doors that have been open, like OG was saying, Ian, all these other guys, all of you who have come into our lives, who are family, Phyllis, Lori, Nicole, Brenda, Tyler, the list goes on. And
what a nice family.
Beautiful family. Man, I keep burping like a son of a gun. What the hell?
Water?
I know, just water.
It's not carbonated water. What the heck? I'll get you some Vernors. For those of you who aren't from Michigan, Vernors is the cure-all.
What is this?
What are you looking at?
I wake up in a strange place. Okay.
Okay, Lori, where?
Let's see. I missed all these.
That's okay. You're good. You're talking to one another.
What is sunshine?
Oh, Brenda, all the sunshines.
What is it? Sunshine?
Uh-huh.
Okay, what's this? Most of probably you woke. That is true. We'll go. Oh, that's you.
Yeah.
Yeah, get you out of there. We got to put our important people in here, our family. Nicole, Brenda, agreed. Brenda gave you a compliment or something. How much did you pay her? What do we got going on here? I didn't see this one.
There's a lot.
What does it say?
You've been talking nonstop. There was a lot of things. I don't know what
it's on there right now.
I've got a lot of things.
It's on there right now.
Who's it from?
Oh my God. I'll try to do it. It's been proven. We're doing something we love, healing for the soul. Yes. Head and shoulder.
Yes. Yes. He does this. This is his therapy. That's what I told a couple people, that you doing this live is your therapy for the day.
It really is, man.
But when he's done, he's got some exercises to do. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to make him do them too. Just saying.
What? Lori.
Uh-oh. She threw up. Uh-oh.
In the new car.
You threw. Oh, no. I threw up in the new car. I got a bearing, still got the scar. Oh, that's when she was drinking wild turkey many years ago. I'm hoping many years ago.
I was just like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Were you and OG having a night? Next thing you know, we're gonna be having OG and Lori stories.
Oh yeah, lots. Everybody's got their stories.
Thank you, Nicole. Someone's listening to me.
Aw.
Yeah. She's like, well, not really. Holy crap! Do you realize that you have been talking for 1 hour and 28 minutes?
I've been talking.
I know. Can you believe it, people?
Can't shut me up.
You put the mic in front of her, and she's got diarrhea of the mouth. It just keeps running.
Yeah. Well. Anyway, would you leave the table alone?
It's just like,
I think he's hallucinating. Okay.
There's something crawling on the table.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
See it?
Yeah.
See it?
Are you hearing voices that aren't there too?
I hear some in my ears.
That would be me.
Oh,
just me.
Man, for as crazy as this, we got actually more people watching. I almost hate to go, so we won't. We'll just sit here and.
Well, how about you take a break, do your exercise, and come back tonight?
See, she's the admin for a reason.
Uh-huh.
She's like, why do you have scissors? To cut this off my wrist.
I tell them I only look this stupid. It's real.
I always say, and you're the, because when it comes to everything, that's why she's the admin, because she runs everything. She does the scheduling, she does the flights, she does the arrangements, she does the scheduling for the other shows,
and the cooking, and what laundry.
What she's done. And it's just like, you got, it's like, well, yeah, then something will come up. It's like, and you're the smart one. Uh-oh, what do we got?
People laughing.
What? Well, wrong one. What?
Get to work, brother. That's Tyler.
What?
Oh wow, that's nice, Nicole. The best way to start her morning on her day off is with us. That's so sweet. And normally we wouldn't. Normally we wouldn't be on a Friday morning. He'd be probably walking around the stations, visiting his dad at the cemetery.
Hey, that's nothing. This is. Oh, well, I'll tell you what. Thank you, Nicole, and you know what, for all you guys watching today and every day. This is you're being so silly too. Yeah, what today? It's every day, sunshine. You know that, man. We come on here to shed a little sunshine and happiness and smiles and laughter. But don't get me wrong, man. You guys know us, so we'll come at you hard and strong when it comes to being serious as a heart attack. It's being serious about this terrible, freaking evil.
Smile and laugh,
as we all know, the drugs and addiction. We're all here. The main reason that we can't forget that we're all here is because of some terrible, terrible choices that we've made, some terrible things we've said and done. Not only that, but for the people that we've lost by carrying on our stories. And like for me, I like to mention my family and friends who I've lost by sharing their stories and saying their names. They'll always be alive in my heart. So we are going to be having a ball. We are going to be, doing all this stuff, but we are going to have one hell of a good time doing it. Because as I've always said, man, for me, Susie.
Dead air.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. Susie just came over and nudged me. So I don't know.
She said, you've been in here. She was in the other room sleeping. And like, where have you been?
You gonna come up here? You gonna try it? No. Okay. Well, on that note, we will I'm gonna go do some shoulder exercises.
Yep.
And just chill for a little while. But we'll be back on in a little while.
Yeah.
So you guys, thank you so much for being part of this.
After 12 o'clock, well, here anyway, get some lunch or wherever you're at, get some breakfast, depending on your time zone.
Yeah.
And then check us out later. We'll be back.
We will definitely be back on now. Thank God I've got my internet, and we'll make some room here for Wonder Dog Susie so she can be up here. She's eyeballing me like, excuse me. She's got to have her time. So Wonder Dog Susie will be back. Our next show will be broadcasting in the next couple hours. Until then, I'm Manny Vitale, host of My Fight or War, along with OG and yes, the mighty Wonder Dog.
Love you guys.
Chit-chatting soon. Love you guys. Keep fighting a good fight. Oh. Sorry, Susie just fell.
Almost.